Welcome to our Communication Arts video and lesson of the week. This week, we finished last week our unit on a resume, and hopefully you guys all got a resume done. If you were able to use that template I sent you guys and make your own resume, if you could send that to me so I could see it, that would be amazing. I'd love to see what hard work you guys did to make your resumes. And if you haven't done it yet, please do it, because you're going to need a resume for applying for a job and interviewing for jobs. Most employers do require that these days. So if you haven't done it yet, go back to last week's assignment, either in your email or Microsoft Teams, and do that, okay? So this week, we finished our resume. You took your resume to Target, let's say, and they looked at your resume and they're like, Sarah, I think that you look great. I want you to come in and interview with us. So we are going to work on writing out answers to interview questions and practicing that. So interviewing can be a very exciting time for students, but it can be also very scary. I know when I think of an interview, my stomach just starts turning because I get so anxious, like, oh my gosh, am I gonna know what to say? Am I gonna have the right answers? Are they gonna like me? Are they gonna think I'm good enough? Interviews just make me so nervous. So if you feel very nervous, do not feel alone. They make a lot of us feel nervous. So we're gonna talk about some ways that you can be prepared, and then you're gonna work on writing answers out to help you be more prepared for when it comes. So here's some tips, and this will be on this packet I will send to you in your emails, and it'll also be on Microsoft Teams. First, we're gonna just go on some tips. Number one, dress to impress. You want to look nice, put together, well-groomed when you go in for an interview. You know the saying, how many times do you have to make a first impression? One. You only have one time. So if the first time they meet you, you just rolled out of bed, your hair is every which way, you didn't iron your shirt, so your shirt's wrinkled and you're wearing jeans with holes in them, is that going to be a good first impression for your interview? No, it's not. So you want to dress to impress. You need to know exactly what time the interview starts and where it's going to be at. Let's say I'm applying at Target, and I just might automatically assume, well, my interview is going to be at Target, but sometimes these places have interviews at different places, like their headquarters or their office. So you need to make sure you know exactly the time and the exact location of it, where it's at. You need to make sure you arrive 10 to 15 minutes before the interview is supposed to begin. You never want to get there right on time. You want them to get there early so they have time to know you're there and to come out and get you and to start the interview on time. And you also want to show them that you're going to be an employee that is early, that you really being on time. Some people say being on time is late, because if you get there on time, you're not going to be in your assigned spot on time. You need to get there early so you can get to your assigned spot by 9 a.m. whenever you start. So you want to show them that you're going to be an employee that gets there early. Bring a resume and cover letter with you. If you don't have a cover letter, that's fine. Actually, we are going to work on cover letters in the next couple weeks. But for sure you have a resume, because we did that last week. So bring a resume with you 100% for sure. Be honest with all of the interview questions. If you are not comfortable with doing something, it is important to tell them the truth. If they say, John, in this job, you are going to have to lift 75-pound bags. Are you okay with that? If you know, I cannot lift 75 pounds, like I know I can't, I shouldn't say, oh yeah, I can do that because I'm so excited for this job. I should not lie. I've got to tell the truth, because if I can't pick up those bags, I'm not going to be able to do the job. And then what's going to happen? I'm probably going to lose my job, and they'll be like, why did you say you could pick up these bags when you can't? So you got to make sure that you're honest. Be professional during the interview. Have good eye contact. Have good manners. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, sir. Please. Thank you. Make sure that you're not like looking at your phone during the interview, or just being like sidetracked. Also, make sure that you speak loudly and clearly. You don't want to mumble. I know during interviews we get nervous and we might talk really fast or talk really quiet, but you want them to be able to hear you. You don't want to have to repeat yourself, and you want to show them that you're going to be a good employee that can communicate with others, so you got to make sure you speak loudly and clearly. Have 1 to 2 questions ready to ask for after the interview. I have been on a few interviews and they always ask, do you have any questions for us? And there have been times where I'm like, no, I don't have any questions. But really, we should have questions prepared. If we bring questions for the employer, they're going to know, wow, this person is interested in us. They want to know more about the job. So you should always have a couple questions prepared. Always make sure you thank the interviewer for your interview when you're leaving. You can handshake, say thank you so much for your time. I appreciate the interview. I really hope to work for you guys, or just even thank you. And some people even follow up interviews with like a thank you note that you can send to them, or an email if you've been emailing with them. Just let them know that you're appreciative of the interview, you're appreciative of their time to interview you, and you're just showing them you want this job if you're being thankful for it. So that's what, on Monday, just watch this video, and I want you to just review these, look over them, think about them. On Tuesday, you're going to do this page right here. Interview tips, reflection time. This is where the communication art piece comes in, because they're going to be writing sentences to these answers. So, you're going to answer all these questions. Number 1, we talked about over here was dress to impress. So let's reflect. What should you wear to an interview? So I have my answer here, and you guys can pause if you want. If you wanted to see what I wrote. But I said, in an interview, if you're a lady, you could wear a dress, but you need to make sure that it is around your knee length or longer. Do not want to wear a short dress into an interview. You could wear, this is for ladies or gentlemen, you could wear a sweater and a nice pair of pants. Or gentlemen, you could wear a shirt. You could wear like a polo shirt or a button-up shirt with a tie and a pair of slacks. I always will say, think church clothes. When you go to church, typically, I know a lot of churches aren't as fancy as they used to be, but typically when you think of church clothes, you think of a really nice outfit. That's what you want to wear. Do you want to wear a prom dress? No, you don't have to get that fancy, but you want to make sure that you look nice when you have your interview. So then the second tip we talked about was know exactly the time and place the interview will be held at. So let's reflect. If you have an interview somewhere you have never been, what should you do before you go? And here's my answer right here. You guys can press pause if you want to stop and read it. So I said, if I've never been there before and I have to ride the bus to get there, well, I definitely want to practice the bus route to find out how long it's going to take me to get there and to make sure I know what buses to get there. Or if somebody's going to drive me, we're going to practice driving there so we know how long it takes to get there. And we're going to print out directions. The main thing is we need to know how long it takes to get there and how to get there so that we don't get lost or we're not late for the interview. The next tip was arrive 10 to 15 minutes before the interview is supposed to begin. So let's reflect on that. If your interview is at 3 p.m., what time should you be there by? So this will help our math skills. If we're supposed to be there at 3, we need to be there 10 to 15 minutes earlier. So 10 minutes before 3 o'clock is 2:50. 15 minutes before 3 o'clock is 2:45. So you need to be there between 2:45 and 2:50. The fourth tip was to bring a resume and a cover letter with you. So let's reflect on that. Why do you think it's good to bring a resume? Well, a resume is it's a short one piece of paper, usually only the front, that lets them know your education and your history and maybe any accomplishments you have and what your goal is in getting that job. It's excellent for an employer because they just have all your information on one piece of paper. And they can just keep that in your file, and that's a quick reference for them. So that's why I think it's good to bring a resume. I'll go ahead and hold it. You can pause it if you want. It's that one down there. And the last, or the fifth one was, the fifth tip we talked about a little bit ago was to be honest with all of your interview questions. If you are not comfortable doing something, it is important to tell the truth. For example, counting money. If you're not comfortable with counting money, you should never say you can take a job as a cashier. Why is it important to be honest? Well, here's my answer right here. You can pause. I said, they will find out the truth eventually. You may get a job that you will not be able to do. So if you get a job where you're supposed to lift 75 pounds and you're never able to lift it, well, you're going to lose that job because you can't fulfill that job that you were hired for. So then you have to start back over with a job search. So you should always be honest. The next tip we talked about was be professional during an interview. For example, have good eye contact or reflection. What are some other things you can do to be professional in an interview? Do not look at your phone. Give a handshake. Have good manners. Speak clearly, loudly, and slowly. Next one, the one I talked about that I was not good at when I first interviewed. Have 1 to 2 questions ready to ask after the interview is over. So let's reflect on that one. What are 2 good questions you can ask at the end of an interview? So I looked up some questions for you guys online, and you can also do that too. This would be a great research thing. You can Google, what are great questions to ask at the end of an interview? So some of the ones that I found that I liked, and I thought were good ones were, you could ask them, what would a typical day be like at this job? Or you could ask them, what is the most challenging part of this job? Or what sort of training is required for this job? Or is there any room for advancement? Could I potentially become a manager or something like that? So those are the questions that I looked up, and here they are. You can pause if you would like, but I encourage you to look up some more and find some questions that you would feel comfortable asking. And the last tip we talked about was to thank people at the interview for their time. So our reflection was, why is it important to thank people in an interview? I said it because you want them to know you are a polite person, that you're thankful for the interview, and you're interested in the job. And you could have other answers yourself. So actually, this was Tuesday's homework, and on Microsoft Teams, you'll see an assignment titled Tuesday's Communication Arts Response Sheet. You'll put your answers on there. And then on this page question right here, you'll find it on Microsoft Teams. It's called Wednesday's Communication Arts Response Sheet. And you'll put those answers on there. And I have the questions on there so you'll know which one you're answering. So for Thursday, we're going to be doing these interview do's and don'ts. And I'm actually just going to keep this up here. So for this one, what we're just doing is we're looking at these different sections and we're going to decide who is most prepared for a job interview, or it says circle what would be a good choice during an interview. So look at these 2 ladies. Who's dressed more appropriately? Her. What about these 2? Well, they both look nice for an interview. This is most appropriate. And these gentlemen, which is most appropriate for an interview? This guy. So for this is still Thursday's homework. If you have this on your computer, you can just download it and scroll through and just look and pick yourself. Or if you've printed it, you can circle. So look at this one right here. This shirt is all wrinkly. That is not good. You want to make sure you're ironed and ready to go. And this outfit right here, oh, this is nice. She's got a blazer and a shirt and some slacks and some heels. That is great for an interview. Does her skirt look knee length? No. It's got some wild colors, some high heels. Cute outfit, but not appropriate for an interview. Let's look at these. Our hair, grooming is very important. Whose hair looks most appropriate for an interview? his. For an interview, you want to make sure that your hair is combed nicely, that it is cut. If you're a gentleman and you have facial hair, you want to make sure your facial hair is trimmed nicely. Yes. So hair is important. It needs to look nice when you go. These next ones are about shoe choice. Which would be the most appropriate shoe choice? They're both nice, but for an interview, this one. And what should you wear if you're a gentleman? A tie. A sweatshirt is not appropriate. Now to these two ladies, she looks like she's wearing workout stuff. This would be most appropriate. So this next one is kind of fun. You can do this after you download it and just look at the pages. The gentlemen, you're going to look here. Ladies, you're going to look on the next page. But I just want you to build an outfit. Let's pretend you're going on an interview tomorrow. Circle what you would wear. What pants you would wear, what shirt you would wear, what shoes you would wear. All of these are correct responses. They are all nice things. This is just fun to decide what you would pick. So guys, there's yours. And ladies, here's yours. I just kind of picked the ones I like the best. I really liked these pumps. I really like those pants. Then I just picked the shirt that I thought would look best with that. But again, any of these are appropriate. So you could just have fun picking what you would pick that suits your personality style. All right, so now we're going to start preparing some interview questions, some popular interview questions. This is on your assignments on Microsoft Teams. It's going to be under Friday's Communication Arts response sheet, and I want you to write down the answers to your questions. So what we're going to do is start thinking about and responding to very popular interview questions. So for these questions, we're going to pretend like we're working at Target. And for me, that I don't have to pretend very much because I love Target and I would love to work at Target. So, but if you want to pretend a different store, go ahead and pretend. So the first question that is usually always asked in an interview is, tell us a little bit about yourself. And I know a lot of times we get hung up. We're like, oh gosh, what about myself? Well, this is where you would describe who you are. No one knows you better than you. So talk about things like if you're a student, how many siblings you have, what sports you play, any clubs you might be in, or any interests you have. Just the fun things that show people about who you are. So I'd say, I am a teacher during the school year. I am married with 3 children. I am a foster parent. I enjoy working with others and helping others. And I'm a sports fan. So those are just some things about myself, okay? You guys could say, I am a recent graduate from high school. Tell them what you're interested in, that sort of thing. And have your family help. These are hard to come up with, so use the people around you to help you come up with these answers. And then the other question we're going to work on today, or for Friday, and to end off this week, is another one that's always asked. Why should we hire you? You want to show them why you are better than the 50 other applicants that apply for this job. So you got to make yourself look amazing and stand out, that you're the best for this job. This is a very common interview question. If someone asks you this, provide reasons that would make you a good fit for the company. So in this case, why you'd be a good fit for Target or wherever you decided to apply. Maybe you shop there a lot and know the store already. Or maybe you're great at customer service. Maybe you just really like everything about Target and want to work for a great company. Pick 1 to 2 reasons and write them below. So I wrote, I love Target. I'm in Target at least once a week. I know the store very well. I know the products very well. And so I would love to work for this company that I love so much. I also think that have great customer service skills, and I would be a great addition to your team. So you guys can come up with whatever you want for that one, okay? And so then don't forget to fill in the response sheet on Microsoft Teams so I can see your answers. And we'll continue this unit next week. We'll work on some more interview questions. But this will be great for helping you guys because you should be interviewing. I know with all this going on, we're not doing it right now, but hopefully by the end of the summer, you should be interviewing for jobs. This will be great in helping you prepare for that. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great week, and feel free to contact me if you have any questions or need help with any of this stuff. I'm here for you. Have a great day. Bye.